Welcome to this segment of Soul, Silence, and Sound. This is brought to you by BeSimply.
Stars, trees, clouds, and the moon. They all have a meaning and they look just like
Soul, Silence,
you.
and Sound brought to you by BeSimply. This is Suzanne Toro, and I want to thank you for being here. So today, in this Dharma Musing Suzanne style, we're going to examine a few things. And first, I want to point out that this full moon is behaving rather unusual. So we had the full moon last weekend, and it was around 6:08 p.m. And then the subsequent nights, we would have bright nights. But if you were doing naked eye astronomy, which I strongly recommend, that means your eyeballs and the sky and your observations on the ecosystem that you're in, it was pitch black. And typically, no matter when the moon is coming up, when it's full, you will have a well-lit sky and your backyard should not look pitch black. So that's very curious. So we want to pay attention to these anomalies, if you will. And now we're at the midpoint, and then we're going to the new moon. So this is the week you really want to pay attention, the things that come in and out of your life, because typically this new moon is when the feminine, biological female, are shedding, and that downward pull is the moment where you really want to listen before, during, and after that window of time. So midweek until mid next week, really be listening and paying attention. And for those females out there that are biological females, whether you are still menstruating or not, it's really important for you to listen. And also, if you are having your moon during this window of space, that you stay silent. The reason for this is nature's way to give us this opportunity to really listen and feel and release, to let go of what's ready to return to the earth, if you will, and be transformed and help you create space for all the great things that you're creating month to month, and then also through this whole giant solar cycle. So try not to hold on to it. Men, biological men out there, and it's really important. Whatever your biology is, when I give these talks, it's so important. It does not matter how you choose to present yourself, but your biology is designed to interface with this environment, nature, this electromagnetic system. And there are exact, very finite intricacies to your electrical system based on your biological system. So no matter what you choose to present yourself as on a day-to-day basis, really listen to my words when I speak of biological female and biological male, because your electrical system mirrors your physical biology, meaning your yoni and your lingam. I'm going to use Indian terms. Those have specific electromagnetic feeds that are unique to that biological form. Super important. And I'll do a segment outside of this about that, but super important to listen to. So men, that means that you have a biological form with electrodes that are interfacing with nature. So your menstruation time is the full moon. Women, biological female, your menstruation time is at the new moon. This is why in indigenous cultures, they separate male and female on these two moons. So basically, all of society would be better off if biological male and biological female had their space on both moon cycles, because there is a transference between the cosmology and the earth. Very, very important. No matter how you feel about the moon, it's happening because we have these electromagnetic fields. Now, my sense is that we're going to start to have some shifts because the moon, there's some anomalies happening there. I wrote in my letter this week, it's like a love drunk captain is driving the moon. And so there's some things on the horizon that will be interesting. So that gives us our bearings. And So as we come into the new moon, biological female, listen, allow yourself to shed. And then biological male, this is a time for you to create space so that the biological female can do what she needs to do as a dynamic force of creation to transform energy. Leave biological female alone, vice versa at the full moon. So here we go into the musings. That was a good lead in, a little bit of education on our electromagnetic system as it relates to our human suits that we're in. We are at a point that it's so important to have two things: acceptance and the release energy. Like, what often happens is we seek control where we feel like we lack it, and we constrict. And if you can practice accepting what is without attachment, just it is what it is. And this is a beautiful practice, because let's say you get into a disagreement with someone, or you can't meet eye to eye with someone. Really, there's only one is. So the two parties can agree on, okay, our business is not successful. It is what it is. Both of you may have a different opinion as to why that is there. The only is that really counts is that the business is not successful. And that would be based on facts. The company is not, doing what it needs to do to sustain and your employees and you and so forth. So then what that does is when you focus on the what is, it sweeps out all that other editorial opinion blame game. So that's the second part, is dropping it. Blame game is when we don't want to accept the is, and so we look to point outward to someone or something else, because we do not want to accept the current state of is in our life, or in a dynamic relationship, business, world events. It's like, okay, we're just going to blame. So this is that moment, if you so to choose, to drop the blame game. External, internal, it doesn't matter. You just state the facts. And it looks a lot like this. Like, if you have something to say about yourself, you have an observation that is, everyone would agree on it. It's not derogatory. It's just is. Like, if people looked at me, we could all agree that I am short on a scale of most humans on planet Earth. So that's just an is. So no matter how I spin it, and if I want to say, oh, it's my grandmother's fault who was 4'11", it's not, maybe a little genetics, but my sister's 5'8". So is it my grandma's fault, or is it my other grandma who's 5'8's fault? It could be both, right? But it doesn't matter like how that happened. The fact is that what is that I am short because I'm 5'1" by the standards of what we see on the average scale of humans today. Does that make me any less or greater than any other human on the planet? Absolutely not. So, but we could get hung up on it for a very long time, have a quite interesting topic. So we can take this example and apply it to so many things. And during that process is when you get really radically honest with yourself. And there's a level of acceptance that, okay, this is how tall I am. I love how tall I am. I have no issue with it. I've had people all my life have issue with my height, but that's okay because I am fine with it. It's really helpful on an airplane. So the first really important thing during this next week is to really accept the is and not point outward. Or even if it's not about you, but you want to blame it, let's say it's about your child or your parents or your lover, whatever it is, and you want to blame it on something outside of really the microcosm of what's going on. That will free up a lot because it doesn't need to have a blame game. And especially in conflict resolution, or if you're resolving a marriage or a relationship or a business partnership, you will get a lot clearer because there's nothing to fight about. The fights happen when people are blaming each other, right? That's when the fight happens. People want to blame each other or blame themselves. There's no need for it. So the best you can during this week, I want you to really focus on where you are pointing fingers at yourself and others. As we mentioned, as we went into the full moon, sweep it out and sweep that stuff out. Get really, this is like cleaning the baseboards in your home. Get clear on where you're creating the blame and sweep it out. Just get radically honest, distill it down to the what is. When you distill it to the what is, it's super easy to determine what the solution is. Because we could spend so much time analysis paralysis on trying to figure out why I'm 5'1" based on my biology and my ancestry and all this stuff. It just is. And then it's a process of, if I weren't comfortable in my own skin, it would be a process of me getting comfortable in my physical body. That would be the process, right? It is what it is. How can I start to get comfortable in it? And what are the positive things? Like I said, great positive approach, because I have a lot of room on an airplane flight. So awesome. I've sat next to a lot of basketball players and they're like, woo, great person to sit next to when you're on a plane. If you're super tall, get a little bit more room. And so in the same respect, if I'll use it in a dynamic for work or interpersonal relationship, rather than pointing fingers or even bringing in external forces, trying to blame someone else for maybe the misfortune that you're going through in your life. Like, oh, it's them. They cursed me. They did this. They did that. The reality is, no, it's not. This is your bed that you wove, cause and effect, and accept it. Now, what is it that you have to do? If it's a relationship, interpersonal, and it needs to transform, is that possible? Yes or no? And if it's no, then there's nothing really to do there other than to take the time to heal and all of that. But there's no reason to have arguments and blaming and all that stuff. It's just, okay, there's nowhere for this relationship to go. So it's time to part ways, let go, and carry on. There's no need to go through it over and over and over again. It's not going to work. If it's a business and you're all of a sudden there's a change. Maybe one person wants to move on. They're done with it. There's nothing to blame anyone about. That person just needs to move and go on. So acceptance is this key process, or the key ingredient or remedy in this process. So as you're going through accepting what is, you're also really allowing yourself to drop all these little micro aggressions that you have, internal, external. And then what you do with that freed up space when you let go of all those nitpicky things is then you're able to move beyond it. And this is really important right now, because it's like, okay, I accept this, whatever it is in front of me. And now I either find a solution, just move beyond it and focus my attention where I want it to be. But I don't need to sit in this dynamic of going back and forth and debating and fighting and having emotional turmoil. It's not worth it. Not at all. And especially if you're here in North America, as we enter into, quote unquote, the season where they create a political stage for everyone to argue over things that are a construct. So really, this is so important during this summer season to pull back your autonomy from the world at large and really accept what it is for you. Put on those blinders, because there's a lot of programming going on, and it will continue to go on until it doesn't anymore, and get really clear with yourself. So how this will help you is during the rest of this lunar cycle is that this acceptance, it's so beautiful, because the acceptance of what is will help you drop it, let it go. Have you ever heard a couple where they historically will have the same fight over and over and over? I remember counseling a man after he lost his wife. They'd been married like 60 some years. He goes, we always had the same fight. It's like that. It's like there's no reason to have that same fight. And it's actually stealing from what could have been savored in the relationship from my perspective. But at least he could recognize it. Like, we loved each other. He did say we loved each other. We always have the same fight, but we loved each other so much. And what I would say in his next iteration is, rather than get stuck on that loop, the historic argument, is just to drop it. Sometimes we're not going to agree, and save your breath, save your energy. Be better to have a formal debate about some really innovative ideas than keep having the same argument about things that occur in your world or microcosm or the macrocosm. So when you learn to let go, that's similar to what Mother Nature wants us to do. This goes back to the biological female, is you are basically releasing your blood, and it's pulling down, and that blood becomes nourishment. It releases things that no longer serve, shedding, like a snake with its skin, goes into, if we were in times where we didn't have clothes and plumbing and all that stuff, your actual menstruation would go into the earth. And that menstruation feeds the soil in so many different ways. That blood is so potent, very powerful. And so that's the alchemical process that the biological female has. And if you are pre-menstruation or post-menstruation, energetically, you're still going through that process. So there's still a downward motion for the women that are in menopause, and you're still releasing into the soil, but it's energy that's ready to transform. And then it creates this fertile energy field to grow and continue to create whatever you want to create without a lot of the biological arduousness of menstruation. And then if you're a young maiden, and you haven't started your cycle, you're still going through this alchemical process similar to the crone. You're still releasing energy as you prepare to be in these fertile years of creating human life. Now, from there, what I want to share with all of you is that this process, if you attune and are really willing to not hold on to the leaves of your tree and release them, super powerful. And so men, you might be like, well, what am I releasing? Well, you're releasing things mentally, emotionally, and they actually get truly released at that full moon. So that would be your shedding, and we'll go into that more on the next full moon. So this is your time to hold space, create this container for yourself of this potential for future release and creation, which is your golden ember. So from there, I want to remind each and every one of you right now that there are some very large shifts happening for our collective consciousness. And as we accept more of what is, that will allow our collective consciousness to continue to resonate at a higher level. And higher, I don't mean as a hierarchy, but a more pure, clean energy, clear energy that serves the collective consciousness. And so as this happens, that word judgment, which ties into the blame game, will continue to fall in release. And the less that you can judge self and others, the better. It's more about celebrating the beautiful things. And sometimes, and I use all examples of the is being things that maybe we want to let go or get rid of, but there's also a lot of beautiful ises that are celebratory, like a brand new life, a brand new relationship, all these things that are just wonderful things that we can celebrate day in and day out, that are coexisting with the ebb and flow of human life. So I encourage you to see both. And the new moon welcomes us, one, to see things that are ready to shed. That's that downward pulling energy. And then also welcomes us to notice the things that we want to hold and nourish and continue to grow, so we don't lose our attention on things that don't matter. And that's where that blame game, or sometimes when things are so exciting, we tend to lose focus because we get caught up in the rush of something building when we want to be grounded and really glide with that building versus get phonetic with it, get really hyperactive. And this is why biological men, it's really important for you to understand how your system works in this creation cycle. And it's you at this upcoming new moon, I want you to think of it as you're a space holder. You're creating space so this shedding can occur, so that the yin and the yang energy can electrify each other, that they can connect and magnetize and kind of expound, regenerate and continue on. And these are very deep concepts to think of that are communicating through your electromagnetic field in this physical temple. Your electromagnetic field extends out beyond your body. And that field of energy has been impacted by so many things. I'll just leave it about that. But it's been impacted by many things. And this is your time to reclaim your sovereignty and to reclaim your field of energy. And then you decide. And that's why it's so important to accept what is good, positive building your energy up, or diminishing your energy. And then drop all the blame games, judgment, all those things. They don't serve. They're a waste of your speech. They're the waste of your thoughts. They're a waste of your emotional energy. You're just throwing your precious energy out the window. So, and then I'm going to put the little icing on the cake here. I'll give you a clue. It's one of my favorite words, is love, divine love. That answer is always there for us, and we can always step into that field. And if you wish to step into that field, it's available to you, even though you might feel like you want to take action in a way that's diminishing. I was talking with a friend today. The era of the warrior is leaving. And so really think about how you express divine love for the solutions and the building of the things that you're ready to transform in your world, your microcosm, and that will ripple to the macrocosm. So with that being said, I welcome each and every one of you to take a deep breath. Let all of that I just said wash over you, and come up to that seated position. Pull the spine up, drop the shoulders down, and then take a nice gentle breath in. And exhale out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. Another one. Inhale. And exhale. And as you continue to breathe in and out, I welcome you to follow your natural breathing flow. Observe your breath. If you are still learning and deepening your silent meditation, just choose a focal point down in front of you. Keep your eyes open, soft gaze, and follow your breath. And for those of you that are used to meditation, quiet mind, keep your eyes closed or open. It's your choice. Still use your breath as your focal point if your mind wanders.
Listen, it cannot be said. unseen. It is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot It is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. seen. It is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Listen, it cannot be seen. It is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. sun. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Listen, it cannot be seen. It is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down.
And gently from there, I welcome you to gently lean back and recline or move fully into Shavasana, a prone position on your back with your palms facing upward as we transition into receiving sound. As you settle in, just take a nice gentle breath into the heart and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. And then continue to follow your natural breathing pattern.
Adono ane ai ane ane ram ado ane ai ado ane ram ado ai ane Ado ai ram ane ane ai
taking a soft, gentle breath in and out of your heart center, gently breathing in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And another one. Inhale. And exhale. And then gently from there, bringing your awareness to my speaking voice. And when you're ready, gently come up into a seated position. As you extend your spine upward, taking another deep breath in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. As you continue to breathe in and out, I welcome you to just allow everything to wash over you. And I want to welcome each and every one of you to connect with the is in your life, the one that's building and maybe the one that's ready to be released. And may you have a deeper understanding in and around that in this next week. And may you have the opportunity to really listen deeply as we lead into this new moon, our rogue moon. La Luna's breaking free. This is an exciting moment to be here in the earth plane. So without further ado, I want to thank every one of you for taking the space to be here in this moment. I want to thank Random Rap, Kadri Scott, Dante Marino for all contributing in your own shape and way and form. And as we exit out, we're going to listen to a little bit of Fields of Flowers. And until next time, this is Suzanne signing out with a full heart, a soft gaze, a deep bow, and